I don't even know why I feel like this. I changed jobs, tried to fix myself, watched the videos, read the books. But deep down, I still feel lost, like I'm walking, but not going anywhere, like I'm trying, but nothing changes. And honestly, I'm tired. So I sent this message. Not because I need attention, but because maybe someone out there gets it.
I got your message and I made this for you. I can guarantee one thing: if you truly commit to what you're about to hear in this video, your life will change. But before anything else,
Let me ask you a question. Not just any question, but one meant for you. Have you ever felt like you're trapped in a life you didn't choose? You try. You push forward. You fall and get up again. But everything around you seems to resist you. Like you're walking against the wind? If the answer is yes, you're not alone. And I don't say that to comfort you. I say it because most people who truly change their lives didn't start from comfort. Some of them began at zero, and some even lower than that. You're here today listening to this because something inside you refuses to settle. Something deep within you whispers, there's more, there's better, and I deserve it. And just that is enough proof that you're closer to real change than you think. James Allen, an English writer and philosopher, once said, "Circumstances do not make the man, they reveal him." Now let me tell you something important. Life isn't fair. Some people start with a head start. Others begin with their backs against the wall and their hands tied. But the real difference, it was never about the starting point. It was about the response. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher from ancient Greece, said, "Man is not disturbed by things, but by the views he takes of them." There comes a moment in every self-aware person's life, a turning point, a quiet but powerful shift. The moment you stop asking, "Oh, why is my life like this?" and start asking, "What do I still have control over?" That's where transformation begins. And today, I want to talk to you about that moment. Not to sell you a fantasy, not to hand you a list of empty promises, but to give you one idea, one concept, that if you truly understand, can become the foundation for a new life, even if your current one feels like it's falling apart. This isn't a book, it's not a seminar, it's not a slogan. It's a mental skill, a mindset shift, a principle proven in the lives of thousands. So powerful that coaches across the world charge thousands of dollars to teach it in private workshops. Why? Because those who understand it gain control over the direction of their lives, even while under pressure. Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist and author of Man's Search for Meaning, says, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Now let me ask you again, are you ready to learn it? If the answer is yes, stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear might just be the beginning of the version of your life you've always been waiting for. Like I told you before, the moment you shift your focus to the things you can control is the moment your life truly starts to change. And the very first step toward that shift is building one simple mental habit. It's not flashy, but it works like a master key. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. The well-known author Stephen Covey described it as the very first, most essential habit for success. He called it initiative. But let me explain what being proactive really means, not by dictionary terms that go in circles. To me, initiative means this: taking the right action before life forces you to. It's making a smart move before your circumstances leave you no choice. It's when you look at your situation, you separate what's beyond your control from what's within your reach, and you act quickly on the part that's still in your hands. Ryan Holiday, an American author and modern Stoic, says, "Successful people don't wait for the right moment. They create it." Let me give you a simple example. You know you need to learn a new skill, maybe a language, maybe something practical. If you wait too long, life might eventually push you to learn it. But it'll be too late to make a real impact. Don't wait until you're starving to go find food. Don't wait until everything collapses before you move. That's not just survival, that's growth. Waiting for perfect timing? Forget it. That timing doesn't exist. Tony Robbins, a world-renowned performance coach, says, "Decisions are made in a moment, but their consequences last a lifetime." And the first decision you need to make right now is to start working on yourself. And the very first thing you can control is your mind. When you start reshaping how you think, you begin to see new paths, new options, new people, and opportunities that were always there. You just couldn't see them before. Take learning a new language, for example, just one language. Even if you learn it online for free, it can unlock countless new doors in your life. Now imagine what happens when you use the device in your hand, not just for scrolling, but as a tool, a gateway to real change. When I first started looking for a way to increase my income online, I came across videos that seemed ridiculous at first. But when I looked closer, they made sense. People creating simple content and turning it into consistent income. One person built a themed page, it may be music or movies or sports, posted every day, grew their audience, and sold the page for a solid amount. You might think, can I really make money from something like that? The answer isn't about social media or trends. It's about taking control over one small area of your life and building something on top of it. You don't need to copy anyone, but you need to create your own lane, your own system, where you respond intelligently to your circumstances, not just emotionally. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, says, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." And here's something to reflect on. How many times have you seen someone with a difficult life, barely making enough to survive, but still smiling? And how many times have you seen someone with every comfort, yet they walk around cold and empty? The difference isn't where they are. The difference is in what they choose. Happiness is a choice. Success is a choice, and you right now have one to make. My friend, by now you've seen that change begins within. But here's the real question. Why do some people manage to change their reality while others stay stuck? Stephen Covey explains that people fall into two main categories when facing life. The first kind lives inside what he calls the circle of concern. These are the people who focus on everything they can't control. The economy, other people's opinions, the past, the weather, even luck. They keep asking, why is life so unfair? Why does this always happen to me? Why isn't anything working? And so each day becomes a copy of the one before. No movement, no growth, just a constant loop of frustration and helplessness. Then there's the second type, the ones who live inside the circle of influence. These people know life isn't always fair, but instead of wasting energy on what they can't change, They pour their focus into what they can. They ask, what can I do differently today? What can I improve, learn, or start right now? And that's the shift that makes all the difference. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps, once said, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Even in the darkest moments, you still own your response." That's why focusing on your circle of influence, no matter how small it seems, puts you back in control. Because movement, any movement, creates momentum. And with momentum comes transformation. Start by listening to your inner dialogue. If your thoughts sound like, I can't, I'm not good enough, it's impossible, you've unknowingly chosen to live in that first circle. But if you begin asking, how can I learn this? What's one step I can take today? You're stepping into the mindset of growth. And growth, real growth, generates dopamine. Yes, literally. When you take action, no matter how small, your brain releases the feel-good chemical. You start to feel proud, capable, empowered, not because your life suddenly changed, but because you did. So no, don't wait for motivation. Act first and motivation will follow you. Because, as they say, thought is the seed, action is the water. And the more you water your mind with consistent action, the more your reality begins to bloom. Now, if this video sparked something in you, if it made you pause and reflect, then maybe it's time to stop scrolling and start building. Share your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like if this message resonated. And don't forget to subscribe to Inner Meta Self for more content that helps you unlock the version of you that's waiting to rise. Until next time, take a breath, take control, and take one step forward, and you've got this.